Okay. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. We're sorry to begin so late. We're just waiting on people to join. For those of you guys who were not here for our last meeting with Dr. Naupess is our our presenter. He's a professor. He's also a doctorate doctorate individual. He has a PhD. He specializes in genocide and conflict prevention. And last about 2 weeks ago, we spoke about Banyamulenges, and there were a lot of questions and a lot of things that were left unsaid. So that's why we decided to host a part 2 of the discussion. So for those of you guys who don't know, this is what is happening in Congo. We're basically trying to raise awareness in the current situation that's ongoing in Congo, and we try to bring individuals who are expert in certain situations to speak on these situations, so we can get a better understanding on what is currently happening in Congo. So without further ado, I would like to let Dr. Lopez begin, just because we've been waiting for so long to begin. If you have any questions or concern, please put it in the chat. And if you have any questions while the doctor is presenting, kindly just raise your hand and the doctor will call on you once he sees it. So, Dr. Lopez, without further ado, you can begin.
Thank you, Larissa. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay, I hope that we will be talking. I want to hold a conversational like meeting, not a discourse. Conversational like. So I'd like you to be prone to ask any question. You can interrupt me, but be professional, as Ruth said last time. Try to be professional. So last time when we met, I made it clear that there is no any tribe or ethnic group by the name of Banyamulenge in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. That is clear. Second, I said the name Banyamulenge is a creation by people, individuals who wanted to change their own tribal name from Banyarwanda to Banyamulenge, which created more confusion than they didn't imagine. So, and third, if we can speak about migration being a massive displacement of people from one country to the another. If we speak about immigration or immigration, we need to situate it between from 1896 after a conflict within the Tutsi kingdom in Rwanda. And that is the first time we have a number of people mentioned in literature about, let's say, 6,000 people. That's a migration. Immigration, if you are talking in the Rwanda's point of view, immigration, if you were talking as the Congolese point of view. So those are three things I want to remind you. Then some people started asking questions as if they didn't agree with me. And today, what I want to bring to their attention is the literature I use and I still use. If they have other books or any other source they can share with us to support their own positions, they are welcome to do so. Let me now try to share some Larissa, could you let me share my screen?
Or just give me a second. Okay, you should be able to share now.
Good. First of all, let me ask you, did any one of you watch the videos I sent to you, Larissa? Did you watch the video I sent to you? I sent you two pieces of videos.
Yeah, I was
One,
able to watch it, and we tweeted the video on our Twitter. So did anybody get a chance to watch it? I think some of the audience here weren't here last time.
can you play? Is it possible to play them?
I'm currently using my phone, so I don't think I'm gonna be able to play it, but I can tweet the link on our Twitter.
Yeah, but my problem is this. I have them. I have the links, but I don't know if it will be possible for me to play them. Do you see what I'm sharing with you there? No?
Yes, I see the PowerPoint presentation.
So you think I can click here and that will play?
Yeah, I think so.
Let me try. No. I need to put it in a...
You have to click on control.
On control and then?
Control and click.
Control, click.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Try again.
It's now playing.
You said it is playing?
Yeah, it's now playing.
Okay, so can you switch your screen to that screen so we can see it as well?
Okay, let me see.
Just click on whatever screen that's playing the video.
Let's see. And why that? Why? Why am I seeing it and you don't see it?
Yeah, I think it's maybe because you have your screen sharing specifically on the PowerPoint and not any other screens on your computer.
So let me find.
Maybe get out of the screen sharing and then, yeah.
You see it?
Yeah, now we see it.
Okay.
But
Let
we
me start.
cannot hear anything.
Let me start. You can't hear anything?
It's very low.
It's very low?
Yeah.
But you need to deal with your own sound there.
No, I think you have to turn it up and then so we can hear it a little louder.
So you want me to turn it?
Yeah, now I can't hear anything.
Wait, I still can't hear it.
But I can hear you very well. You are as if you were just behind my wall. You still not hear it?
No, I think you have to go to audio settings and set it up.
So I can let me stop it and then restart the process. And if it doesn't work, then we will just let anyone try to see it later. Stop sharing. Let's see if this will work this time. Can you hear it?
No.
Nobody's? No?
No, we can't hear or see it. We only see the PowerPoint presentation.
Oh, sorry. So I will, let me see, share again. Okay, so I will, this is just to, you will have it for all of those who are here. We'll have the link. There you can see that in 1990, 1962 and 1964 are the first group of people running from the Hutu social revolution in Rwanda, and they are brought to the DRC by the Red Cross and the Haut Commissariat aux Réfugiés. I will stop this here. Because it doesn't add anything. And I'd like to be honest, not to take things that are not mine, give them to the authors. What does Kinyalolo says? Now, what is said by Depelchin first? Depelchin says this: when Rwanda eventually crossed the Ruzizi River, they first settled at Kakamba. Is that Mulenge? No. He says, when they crossed the Ruzizi River, they first settled at Kakamba toward the northwestern corner of the valley floor. They didn't stay there for very long because, accustomed to high altitude, they found the climate unbearable both for themselves and for their cattle. He continues, you see where I put yellow colors? That's where, for many years afterwards, Mulenge was the quasi-capital of the Rwanda. When you see Rwanda here, it's not Rwanda country, but Rwanda as a people, self-named Banyarwanda. Otherwise named Banyarwanda. So much that their companions who stayed behind referred to them as Banyamulenge. The name stuck, even though the basis for it no longer exists. That's the first author who wrote that name of Banyamulenge, and that was in 1974. So if you go and search for that name Banyamulenge in literature, anywhere, everywhere, you won't find any other place. This is the first place that name appears in 1974, and that was the his PhD thesis at Stanford University. And from there, the name Banyamulenge is again used by another person named Tabazi Rugama. Tabazi Rugama and Jacques Depelchin share something. They descend from at least one parent of Rwandan origin. Tabazi, he did his travail de fin de cycle at ESP Bukavu in 1975. It is said that, and I think one of the daughters, one of the children of Isaac Muhoza, who is the person who popularized that name of Banyamulenge, because he was once deputy in the Congo, in Zaire time. So he was the sponsor of Tabazi Ugama when he was writing his Travail de fin de cycle in Bukavu, when he was completing his licence in Histoire at ESP Bukavu, for those who know ESP Bukavu. So those are the two first places you can find that name Banyamulenge in books or in written in literature, scholarly literature. And after that, then you see, you may find other mémoires de licence written by other Banyarwanda students at the University of Lubumbashi, the University of Kisangani, and University of Kinshasa. They also try to legitimize that name of Banyamulenge, but the name never existed before that period. Then, and the book or the PhD thesis I'm referring to, the title is From Pre-Capitalism to Imperialism. From free capitalism to imperialism. And if you want, I will give you some pages. After this meeting, just go to page 1, page 4, page 4 to 9, page 11 to 13, 32, 33, 51, 54, 53, 62, 64. I will send you that. I will send them that document so that they can read them by themselves. And I can also send you what Kinyalolo has written in 1996. He wrote a rebuttal against what Roberto Garreton, for those who may remember, if you are old as I am, I don't think so. He was special rapporteur for human rights for the United Nations in Congo in 1994, 1996, I think, or 97. He is the first person who wrote, who gave some kind of legitimacy to the name of Banyamulenge, because even when it is written, it was written by Jacques de Pelchin or Tabazi Rugama, or those students who wrote, it was still unknown. But in 1996, in October precisely, Roberto Garreton wrote a report on human rights violation in Zaire, and he quoted something from a claim made by Banyamulenge so-called, self-named Banyamulenge leaders, saying that they have been in the DRC, in Congo, in Zaire, since 1797. This means 18th century, which was wrong because there is no author who can give evidence of their presence in the Congo during that period. No author. And even if you read somewhere a scholar who writes, they have been there starting such a date or such a century, but that's just a way of talking. But there is no evidence for that. The evidence starts only in 1896. 1896, 1896. C'est là que nous avons les premiers éléments that we can find some, and even that, there are some people who can still challenge this, but at least we have some more evidence that they were there. They came around the beginning of the 20th century. 1896, that's just 4 years ahead of the 20th century. I think you know that to a century, you need to add 1 to the second number of the year to have the century. It means 1896, you will add 1 to 18, to 18, and you have 19. The year 19, 0, that's 20th century. So that's the situation we have there. Another book I can when speaking with Banyamulenge, self-named Banyamulenge, let me tell you, I'm not comfortable using the name Banyamulenge because I know that there is another group that is claiming the same name. So when I'm speaking about Banyamulenge, I don't know if I am fair to those who are claiming the same identity. And they are Bafulero. Bafulero claim the same identity of Banyamulenge. So when I say Banyamulenge, I'm not fair to Bafulero. I need to be using Banyarwanda. And if I use Banyamulenge, I will be saying self-named Banyamulenge. I don't want to use so-called because that's too negative. So I will be using self-named Banyamulenge because they accept, they agree that they gave themselves that name. They gave themselves that name. So now let me give you 3 other references. They usually use, the leaders of Banyamulenge usually use the book of George Weiss, and I think you can see something there. Are you seeing this? This writing I'm moving?
Yes, we
Yes.
see it.
Good. So this is one of the books they usually mention, and they also mention, the second one they mention a lot is this one. Can you see that one? That one, the other one? This.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So this is the book, the article written by Jean Yernou. Jean Yernou. The first one I was showing you is George Weiss. This one is Jean Yernou. And they also use this one. This is not a book, it's an article, a 4-page article written by someone named Frederic Hotman. Do you see this one?
Yes, we do.
I'm moving.
Yes, we do.
Okay. So those are 4 sources they usually mention, and I will show you why they are wrong. And I will stop there and let you ask your questions. First of all, let me take George Weiss. And why do I take this? Not only because they mention it a lot when they are trying to defend their cause, but also because when I was presenting the Banyamulenge case on Marius Chevaux, I received a message. That Marius sent me, coming from Beatrice Muhoza, who is the sister of the new Minister of Infrastructure in Congo. It means the daughter of the one who popularized the name Banyamulenge in the DRC, Isaac Frédéric Muhoza. She said that I wasn't fair to Banyamulenge because I didn't take into account, and let me show you I hope this will appear here, let me see. Okay, can you see this where I'm moving my, can you see this? She writes Beatrice Guissaro. Can you see the name here? Are you with me?
Yes, we can see the name.
Okay, so that's the message she sent. And in the message, she says, let me read it a bit. She says this. The book of George Weiss is named Le Pays d'Uvira. And she says, Weiss, dans son ouvrage, this is the place, dans son ouvrage, à la page 118, identifie un Rwanda à Galier, Moyen Plateau, en 1881. Rwanda fut l'appellation par laquelle les Belges nous identifiaient. J'espère que tout le monde entend et peut comprendre le français là, hein? Surtout quand on va lentement. Toujours dans son ouvrage cité, Weiss fait déjà la différence entre les peuples qu'il nomme Rwanda et les Rwandais. Dans son ouvrage, Weiss décrit les Rwandais comme les pasteurs Tutsis. And she gives another page, 121, dans l'interprétation de son tableau. le peuple que nous appelons Rwandais est directement originaire du Rwanda et non du clan de Rwanda qui émigra au début du siècle vers Itombo. Now, what she's trying to say is this. Because George Weiss makes some differences in his book, especially on pages 1 to 1, page 121. Let me see if I am there. Page 121. I went too far. Okay, I am around 70. So you can see what he says. Page 121. D'abord, page 118. Let me go page 118. C'est juste ici. Voilà. Here, actually, George Weiss says, l'implantation est récente. This book was written in 1959. 1959. And this is what he says in 1959, l'implantation est récente. Le premier Rwanda est arrivé à Galier en 1881. Le premier Rwanda est arrivé à Galier en 1881. Puis un homme et 2 femmes en 1884. Can you say that that's immigration? On the sense of a people moving massively from one country to another? I don't think so. My answer is no. So I can't count these as those migrants who are concerned by our analysis. And he adds, les Rwanda, here, again I say Rwanda here is not the country, but the people, Banyarwanda. Les Rwanda, you see it, he put in plural, se sont superposés à une souche vira, beaucoup plus ancienne, comme le montrera plus précisément l'étude historique dans le chapitre suivant. He's saying this. These people who came from Rwanda found les Bavira where they came. It means Galie, when they came in Galie, they found Bavira already there. That's the meaning. If I mistake myself, you will help me to correct it. And now I move to the other page she mentioned. Page 121. Now, page 121, what she quotes is this, is note number 1. She said, here, George Weiss says, Let me see where she put. It's not here. I need to put it 121. Okay, this is the place she's arguing with me. Here you have a number in this table, table 7. That's note 1, and then in the note 1, George West says this: le peuple que nous appelons Rwandais est directement originaire du Rwanda et non du clan des Rwanda qui en émigra au début du siècle vers l'Itombwe. Here, what George West is saying is this: in my study, I'm talking about Banyarwanda, and I have 2 subgroups of Banyarwanda. The first subgroup I'm talking about is the one of people who are coming, who came from Rwanda when we were doing our survey. And there is another group of Banyarwanda who immigrate before. It means au début du siècle vers l'Itombwe, au début du siècle. He's writing in the 20th century, 1959. You agree with me? That's 20th century, right? Are we together?
Yes.
1959 is 20th century. When he says au début du siècle, what date you can give to that? Ils ont émigré du Rwanda au début du siècle, when we are in 1959. What's the date you may give?
Le 20e siècle, 1900.
C'est le 20e siècle, et ça veut dire nous sommes
1900.
vers les années 1900. Donc, moi, je suis déjà généreux en disant, ils sont arrivés, il y a des Banyarwanda qui sont arrivés en 1896. Donc, moi, je donne déjà une date qui est favorable sur la base des données que j'ai de l'abbé Kajiga. Mais elle me prend à partie. Donc, ici, George West dit, there are people who came in the 20th century, les années 1900, et il y en a qui sont venus quelques années seulement, peut-être because the survey was done in 1954, maybe those other Rwandan, he calls Rwandais, came just in the 50s. So he made that difference between 2 subgroups of Banyarwanda. Those who came at the beginning of the century and those who came maybe in the 50s. That's the difference he made. And he continues. He continues, and I go back to page, he gives more elements that show that he's not talking about those who claim to be originaires de Mulenge or originaires du Congo. No. He's making differences. This is the difference he's making. And I want you to be very cautious. So he says on page 1:20, he says, les Rwandais dominent par le nombre, mais les peuples représentés donnent à ces villages, par leur variété, un caractère très international. Do you see that? I'm not the one who wrote that. And he's referring to table 7. So it means he says that those people who are in the server in these villages, Bijombo, Kianjovu, Masango, their composition, their makeup was très international. And why does he say that? He continues, he says this, let me start where. L'explication de ce fait est simple. He's explaining now why he says what he said before. Les villages de la frontière occidentale de la chefferie sont plus éloignés des terres Vira du versant du lac et séparés de celui-ci par la ligne de crête du Moulou. Don't worry about all this, que des vallées inférieures du plateau, appartenant à des territoires voisins. Now, that's the place. Des territoires voisins et peuplés d'autres Congolais. He says, peuplés d'autres Congolais. He is the one who used the term, and he explains in the note, in note 1, he explains why he says Congolais. He says, par opposition aux populations Rwanda, Urundi, originaires du Rwanda, Urundi. Do you see that? While he makes differences between the former Rwandans who came to Congo at the beginning of the 20th century and those who came in the 50s, but he also made differences, a difference between those Banyarwanda altogether and Congolese. I'm not the one who wrote that. That's Weiss who wrote it. George Weiss. On page 120. So when Beatrice Gisaro goes to page 121, she doesn't read correctly page 120, the difference made by the author. And I will continue on page 121. Because there you will see 121 and 122, he says this to make himself understood better. What does he say here? Contraire. No. I think I have already made the points. 2 points. Yeah, I think I've explained both differences. He made difference between Banyarwanda. Within the group of Banyarwanda, he makes first subgroup of recent Banyarwanda and ancient Banyarwanda. The ancient Banyarwanda came au début du siècle. The newer Banyarwanda came in the 50s. And the second thing I want to tell you is this. He makes difference between those Banyarwanda and Congolese. So he already himself make difference. And he says, parmi les Rwanda, on page 121, parmi les Rwandais, 205 hommes, oh là là, 205 hommes viennent de la partie du versant du lac situé dans la chefferie même, mais 132 encore sont issus directement de la chefferie de Fulero, des territoires voisins, Fizi ou du Rwanda, Urundi, sans passer par le versant. Donc, je voudrais souligner ces deux aspects. Ways make difference between Congolese and Banyarwanda. Why did he do that? I don't know, but he's Belgian. Ways, I don't know if he's still living. He was Belgian, or he is Belgian. So he made difference between Banyarwanda and Congolese. I'm not the one who make it, but he did. Now, if someone wants to contend, I think you need to contend with Ways. And he says that these three villages had a population with an international makeup. Why? Simply because you have people from Rwanda and people from Burundi. So I think it's enough for me. And I will send you this for those who do not have it. The other book, as I said, the other writing is from Jean Yernaut. Jean Yernaut says this. Do you see the page I'm showing you? Au cours du 19e siècle, avant l'arrivée des Européens dans cette partie de l'Afrique centrale, un groupe de pasteurs de la caste Tutsi quitta, pour des raisons politiques, semble-t-il, le royaume, aujourd'hui République du Rwanda, et alla s'établir sur les hauts plateaux de l'Itombwe. Now, les hauts plateaux de l'Itombwe. When someone is speaking about Haut Plateau de l'Itombwe, he's not speaking about Uvira, Mulenge. Why? Last time I told you that Mulenge is in the Uvira County, dans le territoire d'Uvira, and Itombwe is dans le territoire de Mwenga, not dans Uvira. If they went to Itombwe, you can't mention Mulenge when you're talking about Itombwe. Itombwe is in Mwenga. It used to be in Fizi. At least you can be talking about Fizi or Mwenga when you are talking about Itombwe, not Uvira. Mulenge is in Uvira. And last time I said, if they are logic, they can't be fighting to have Minembwe because they say they are Banyamulenge. Banyamulenge means people of Mulenge, which is in Uvira territory, Uvira County. Minembwe is in Fizi County. So you have three different counties there, and you need to be aware of that. For you, young people, you need to know that there is a difference between Uvira, which is a county, un territoire, Fizi, un territoire, and Mwenga, un territoire. Minembwe is in Fizi, Itombwe is in Mwenga, Mulenge is in Uvira. And Mulenge, from Mulenge to Minembwe, you have at least 200 kilometers, at least. Some say 300. And I say at least 200. So now, don't just take something because you see it written somewhere, say, because he says au cours du 19e siècle, and if au cours du 19e siècle, that can match my number, because I say, Kajiga says that the first group of migrants came to the DRC in 1896. 1896, that's 19e siècle. I think so. So that's, but when he say, avant l'arrivée des Européens dans cette partie de l'Afrique centrale, now we need to know who are those who came avant l'arrivée des Européens. Who are they? Who can show us that there was a census, and from that census, that group came to the Congo? And that's where I will end my presentation, my talk with you, by showing you one of the documents they also mention most of the time is le décret du 6 octobre, du 16 octobre, no, sorry, du 6 octobre 1896. Décret Can you see? Do you see the dates I'm sharing with you there? Who see the dates? Who can read the dates?
Yes.
Which date is there? Can you read it?
1891.
Yes. Donné à Ostende le 6 octobre 1891, Léopold, par le roi souverain, ainsi de suite. So this is the decree they usually say that granted them an entity, an administrative entity. But if you take that decree, you will find no anything written there as an entity. No one, not any. So it means that when they are claiming, they need to make sure that they claim with good evidence. They claim with argument that can convince people. So I will stop there, and I would like those who had question. I want you to be precise from what you know and from where we paused last time. Is there anyone who want to take the floor?
Yeah, Doctor. So my question is regarding Banyamulenge, of course. Sorry, what?
Who's talking?
What?
Who's talking?
Moïse.
OK.
Ouais, je vais poser la question en français. Je sais que les Banyamulenge, comme vous le dites, sont venus au début du siècle. Moi, dans mes recherches et tout, j'ai fait mes recherches et je voyais aussi que c'est ça, ils sont venus durant le début du siècle. Et faut-il préciser aussi qu'ils sont venus pour travailler dans les mines au Katanga et au Kivu, travailler dans les mines au début du siècle? Moi, c'est ça que j'avais vu. Je ne sais pas si vous pouvez confirmer ou qu'est-ce que vous avez à dire par rapport à ça.
OK. Il y a ceux qui sont allés travailler dans les mines au Katanga. Et il y a aussi, il y a même une vidéo qui montre leur transport aérien de là vers le Katanga. Il y a ceux qui sont venus comme réfugiés. Et il y a aussi ceux qui sont venus pour travailler les mines dans le sud Kivu, dans le Kivu ancien. Et ceux-là ont été amenés, la plupart ont été amenés à Kilomoto et surtout à la MGL, l'ancienne Somenki, dans le sud Kivu. Mais la plupart de ceux-là qui étaient venus dans les mines, ce n'était pas seulement les Tutsis, c'était à la fois les Hutus et les Tutsis. Donc, il y a des vagues, mais ceux qui revendiquent l'identité de nationalité congolaise d'origine, il faut que vous le sachiez, c'est ça le combat, nationalité congolaise d'origine, et qui s'appelle Banyamulenge. La difficulté première, c'est de savoir qui est cela, parce qu'il n'y a pas eu un recensement, les identifiant comme tels. Et ils ne veulent jamais être identifiés. En tout cas, ils avaient cassé les urnes, disons toutes les dispositions pour leur identification. Ils avaient refusé d'être identifiés. Bon, maintenant, qu'est-ce qu'on peut faire pour les identifier concrètement? Et quelle différence y a-t-il entre eux et ceux qui sont allés au Katanga? Quelle différence, par exemple, entre eux et Karega, l'ambassadeur Karega, qui est né, lui est même né au Congo. Il est né à Walikale, il l'a dit. Il y en a plusieurs comme ça, qui sont nés au Congo, mais qui sont rwandais et restent rwandais. Alors, est-ce que Karega a la nationalité rwandaise par adoption? Non. Karega a la nationalité rwandaise d'origine. Et c'est ça la difficulté que nous avons. Donc, je ne sais pas si j'ai répondu à ta question. Ceux qui sont venus dans les années 1896, ce n'est pas ceux-là auxquels tu fais allusion. Ceux-là qui sont allés, qui ont été amenés dans le Katanga ou qui ont été amenés dans les mines dans la province orientale et dans le sud Kivu, étaient amenés par les Belges d'une manière normale, et c'était dans les années, les uns dans les années 24, 30, jusqu'aux années, je crois, 40, cette transplantation se faisait. Et donc, on ne peut pas parler, ils ne sont pas de ceux-là. Ils ne sont pas de ceux qui font le combat au Kivu aujourd'hui. Mais comment faire la différence? That's the question. Comment faire la différence? Et c'est là que j'ai dit, est-ce qu'ils peuvent préciser qui est Banyamulenge? J'ai dit toujours, comme on dit en mathématiques modernes, ils doivent nous aider à dire par extension et par compréhension qui est Banyamulenge, qui ne l'est pas. Ils ne coopèrent pas sur cette question. Ils ne veulent pas être identifiés. Et là, pose un problème. Même aujourd'hui, si vous voulez aller là-bas où ils sont aujourd'hui en train de se battre à Minembwe pour faire l'identification, je ne sais pas s'ils vont accepter. Voilà ce que je peux dire. Si ce n'est pas clair, vous posez la question encore. Une autre question?
Oui, docteur, j'ai encore une question en fait. Une chose que je comprends pas
C'est
souvent,
qui parle?
c'est Tidjane.
Ok, Tijane.
Ouais, donc une chose que je comprends pas, c'est par exemple, des fois, quand on a tendance de parler à un Rwandais ou comme ça, euh, ils aiment pas le mot Tutsi, mais après, c'est un truc que je remarque que quand même, ils se regroupent entre eux, mais ils veulent pas qu'on leur nomme cela. Ils veulent être nommés Rwandais ou ça, tu vois, Banyamulenge. Et c'est un truc aussi que je ne comprends pas pourquoi d'un jour à un autre, en fait, changer cela. Si c'est le cas, mais parce que vous êtes communautaire. Donc c'est ça qui est bizarre et je comprends pas.
Alors, moi, je ne peux pas te répondre à ça. Toi-même, tu fais le constat et tu peux tirer toi-même les conclusions. Il y a quelque chose qui ne va pas, il y a quelque chose qu'il cache. Donc, devant toi, ils ne veulent pas reconnaître qu'ils sont Tutsis, alors que si on cherche les, dans les, on cherche les ethnies, ils ont certainement une ethnie. C'est laquelle? Moi, je suis Mourega, je suis fier de dire je suis Mourega, je n'ai pas de problème pour ça. Et je suis originaire de Mwenga, dans le sud Kivu, voisin de Babembe et de Bashi. Et donc, c'est tout. Je n'ai pas à me cacher pour ça. C'est tout. Alors, s'il se cache, toi-même, si toi, tu as des cas précis, c'est toi qui dois commencer à étudier. J'espère que tu étudies, tu es intellectuel.
Ouais, non, j'étudie, mais parce que, en fait, le truc qui est bizarre, c'est que j'ai aussi d'autres personnes qui croient, parce que j'ai des traits fins, allez, j'ai des traits fins, et donc beaucoup de gens pensent que je suis rwandais, alors que non, je suis ouest-africain aussi. Mais des fois, quand je parle par exemple avec des Rwandais, il y en a quelques-uns qui sont confortables à parler et qui vont le dire, mais parce qu'ils ne vont pas directement savoir que je suis congolais, mais ils vont le dire. Et après, s'ils savent que je suis, ben là,
Congolais.
directement, ils vont même pas le dire, en fait. Ils vont dire que non, j'ai pas le droit de le dire ou ça. Ah non, chez nous, on dit plus cela, quoi. On parle plus de trucs et tout. Non, je suis juste rwandais et tout, tu vois.
Oui, mais ça s'appelle le denial. Cette dénégation-là de ton identité te crée un problème toujours. Tu deviens hypocrite par la suite. Faut savoir s'assumer. Alors, celui qui dit ça, c'est probablement au Rwanda, parce qu'au Rwanda et au Burundi, ils commencent à avoir honte ou peur de reconnaître leurs identités tribales. Nous, chez nous, nous célébrons nos identités tribales parce que ça ne fait pas, ce n'est pas basé sur l'un veut dominer l'autre. Et d'ailleurs, nous faisons beaucoup de blagues avec nous. Nous, c'est facile de dire yo, Muluba yo, Munyaka yo. Ça ne nous pose aucun problème. Ça ne nous pose pas de problème. Nous sommes tout à fait dégagés en nous disant cela. Tu comprends?
Oui, j'ai compris.
Oui, donc, nous blaguons entre nous, mais vous les Balouba là, vous faites ceci, etc. Vous les Bayaka là, vous faites ceci. Mais vous les Bakongo, mais vous, quand vous vous mariez, ça, ce sont des choses que nous nous disons. Et chez nous, c'est notre manière d'être. Ça ne pose aucun problème. Voilà. Donc, c'est à toi-même de voir, d'examiner les contextes et de voir ce que tu peux en faire, tu peux faire. Mais il doit y avoir quelque chose qui n'est pas correct. Suivant.
Ouais, moi, j'aurais une autre question s'il n'y a personne. C'est
Mais,
par rapport
attends, attends un
au
peu,
fait de...
attends un peu, attends
Oui,
un peu. Il y a une dame que je voulais entendre aujourd'hui. C'était qui encore? Larissa, tu peux te rappeler la dame qui parlait beaucoup la fois passée?
I think it was
Yes.
Yvette and
Mais elle
Chibola.
n'est pas là.
She's not there today?
No, we sent them the invite and I guess they didn't want to show up.
Okay, so that may be the case.
Yeah.
When no arguments, so it's just that way. But this is the time to just tell us the reality. I see it's like some people are writing in the chat, maybe.
Oh, Naomi does not understand French, right? I think.
He said he doesn't
I understand, but it's just a bit hard for me to make out everything. But yeah.
Oh, all right.
Who's that?
Naomi.
Oh, can you? Okay, but you heard what I was saying, no?
Yeah, I understood the gist of it. Yeah.
Good. So that's it's a problem not to acknowledge your identity. It is a problem. You need to know it and to celebrate it. If you can't, I see Joyce want to say something. Go ahead, Joyce.
I think somebody was before me. Was it Tijan? I don't know. Yeah.
Tijan has finished.
I already finished.
But
Okay.
he can come back again, no problem. Go ahead,
Okay.
Joyce.
So I really liked the fact that she talked about the subgroups of what they call as Banyamulenge. But I wanted to know, is there a way that how can the Congolese government do their part to address, I know the president said they're Congolese, which is fine, like we can all accept that. But when it comes to differentiating, especially in consensus, like how are we going to be able to differentiate between the two subgroups, to understand the people who came in 1898 or 1896 to the people who came in 1960 or the people who came in the 1990s. How can the government try to differentiate that? How can we, what are ways, could there be a new name for that? Or, are we going to just group every person who has linkages to Rwanda and Burundi, no matter what time of the century they've come to Congo? Are we going to group all of them as Banyamulenge, or are we going to pick the very first subgroup as, as Banyamulenge, and everyone else is just Congolese settlers? So what is it that the Congolese government can do in terms of creating an acceptable identity for them?
Okay. The main process to do that is census, recensement. And I told you at least 2 times they destroyed and attacked the people who were in charge of going to identify them. They didn't want it. Why? You may ask them. But from those who studied psychology would say they would like to keep it that way because they want to have all those people who came later to mingle with them and make their political constituencies. That's the issue. It means that what they are doing, because they have a political goal. They want to use the number of incoming newcomers to build their own constituencies, political constituencies, because in the first claims in the 1994, no, in the 1991, at the national conference, they said that by self-named Banyamulenge were about 400,000 people. 400,000 people. 400,000. That's what they said. In the area where they are fighting today, Minembwe and so on. But after being challenged by scholars, and among those scholars, the one I mentioned to you, Kinyalolo, he is the among those who challenged that number, because they said they were 400,000. Now he said, okay, if they are 400,000, he wrote this in 1994. He said, if we apply science, especially demography, we have to find how many they were when they came in the DRC, in the Congo. And when you calculate, it means that they were about what I see here in his writing. Let me see, I'm not good at math. Where is the place? So that's the one. Okay, this is what you wrote. If they were 400,000 in 1994, it means that they were about what's the number? Let me see the number here. I don't see the number. Okay, I will send you. Okay, here's the number. If they were, so this is, they tried to calculate how many they were when they crossed the border. And they found that the number was just unsustainable. It was difficult to be accurate. So that's why they backtracked. They didn't want to talk about it anymore. Even they said that they were elected in the 60s, which is wrong, very wrong. So this is what he said: based on the number of 400,000 for 1994, we can estimate how many Banyamulenge, and he puts in quotes, there were in 1958. Why does he write 1958? Because that's the date preceding the publication of George Weah's book. And remember, I told you that one of the books they use is George Weah's. So once this is done, it is very easy to estimate the numbers of the natives. Our result, calculated with the exponential growth function on the basis of the growth rate of 2.5% per annum for the 36-year period between 1958 and 1994 are as follows. So they were this 35% of the population of South Kivu, which is wrong, very wrong. And when they heard that, When they were challenged with, by scholars, they backtracked. They never want to mention their number anymore. And remember, during the debate, if you watch the debates at the National Assembly, when Muindo Zangi challenged Ruberwa, what did he say? They may be about 80,000 and 80,000, something like that. So from 400,000 to 80,000 today. Where are the others? So it's difficult if they don't want to be counted one by one, if they don't want to be identified, to know who are those who name themselves Banyamulenge. And again, I tell you, there is a case made by the Bafuliro challenging that name as a fraud of Banyarwanda, identity theft from of Banyarwanda. So it's a problem with that. And I think that the strategy is to make that confusion because they don't want to make things clear. If they can hear advice, I would advise them to accept that we identify each of them, and then we know how many they are, and let the state decide, the government decide. The problem is we have a government which is taken hostage by them. The government is taken hostage by them to decide to, in this country where you are, the government says this is the line we need to follow. And you have to do it. You have to do it. If you don't want, then you are outlawed. It's okay. But it's not the case. When the president say they are Congolese, but remember he said also to them, they told me, and I agree that they are Congolese, but I told them, you need to show that you are Congolese to other Congolese. He said that. How do you behave? How do you deal with other Congolese? That's the main problem. When I hear Tijan saying that he may meet with one of them, and but he's not open, doesn't want to reveal his identity or her identity. So what? And in this country, you have people from Rwanda who are here as Congolese, but they are Rwandans in other situations. They came here as refugees, as Congolese refugees. But they also have Rwandan identity. So it's difficult. I don't know how to say it. I don't have another answer for that. If you want, you can continue asking questions, but I'm not able to. If I were government, I would have imposed that identification. And those who do not want to make themselves identified, they're outlawed and they go where they want. In this country, you are immigrants. You have no power to impose. You have no power. You have to comply. You need to abide by the laws. We have a weak government. weak states.
Thank you for answering that. Yeah, because I was just very curious. I thought, the consensus was never something that the government had actually tried to implement. So to see that they did try, but they're having struggles with that.
No,
Yeah,
they
thank
don't.
you.
They don't have the will to do it because they are taken hostage. Generals who are, did you hear that when the National Assembly said that they will send a commission in North Kivu to see what is going on there. And some generals, especially those of Rwandan descent, oppose the process. Now we'll watch what will happen. Another question.
Yeah, I have a question, Dr. Kibiswa. I understood everything you said, and I have basically a comment. I don't know if you can si vous allez être d'accord. But I think, and some other people may think like me, that those Banyamulenge, they don't really care about being Congolese. What they want is really a land in Congo, you know. So basically, the balkanization of Congo, that's their goal. They don't really care about being Congolese. It's just them trying to come in Congo and have more of their people from Rwanda come in Congo so they can be so basically what they're doing is they're killing the natives over there in the region of Minembwe or even North Kivu. They're basically killing people to have more influx of people from Rwanda and Burundi that may be of Tutsi descent, and to basically have more of them in that particular region.
I think I said it last time. I said that one of the questions put forward by the conference organizers was, are they looking for political power? And I said, not only political power, but they are looking for a state. They are states seeking ethno-nationalists. And for those who can take the time to read my book, they will understand what I mean by state-seeking ethno-nationalists. They are people who want to identify themselves with the state they control ethnically. And they did it in Rwanda. They were successful, even if they were only 15% of the population. They did it in Burundi, even if they were only 14% of the population. They did it in Rwanda, in Uganda. That's why you could have Museveni, who is from the Tutsi group, leading Uganda. At the same time, Kagame leading Rwanda. At the same time, Buyoya leading Burundi at the same time. And that is the time you were attacked. Remember that. Because they had 3 governments at their service, they could do anything they wanted, and they did it. And they placed Laurent Kabila, whom they killed only 3 years later. They put their son to lead the Congo. So that's the reality. That's not secret. Even if some Congolese, as we are always naive, presented Joseph Kabila to be biological son of Laurent Kabila, no. Today, it's well known now that no. He was maybe an adoptive son, but he has Tutsi descent, and he reigned 18 years on the Congo. So that's the reality. Now, what did he do? Kabila, Joseph, is the one who put in place all these military structures in the eastern side, all these Obed Rabasira, who is now commanding the military who are in Goma, he's from Rwanda. Innocent Gaizi, who is commanding Beni, is from Rwanda. And you have many others. They are controlling the army. That's their strategy. And I've already said it. I think Larissa may remember that. This situation, and I talked with Muindo when he was challenging the government, Muindo Nzangi and F. Bazaiba. I talked with them. I said, you are to watch because you have heard war in Azerbaijan. War in Azerbaijan is led by Armenians who are within the territory of Azerbaijan, but in connection with the Republic of Armenia. They are in Azerbaijan, but they claim themselves to be a republic within Azerbaijan. And they take advantage of some difficulties of Azerbaijan to say that that's their own republic. It's named the Republic of Artsakh. You can check. And remember, with some differences, you have Lesotho and Swaziland within the South African Republic. And that's what they want. They want something like that. If they can't control the whole Congo, because it's difficult for them to do that, but not impossible because they have already reigned 18 years on us, they want at least to have something they can control, and the process is there. The process is there. If you don't awake, guys, we lose the country. We will lose the country. Am I clear?
A doctor?
Yes, yes, thank you, doctor.
And I'm not saying that you need to hate them. No. Hating them is not the solution. Resisting them and putting them down when they come with guns, and you need to strengthen the state, the government. We need to have a functioning government. When you have a functioning government, like in the US, you don't have this kind of people who can come and just claim. It's like today, if you have Mexicans who are living in Arizona, who are living in San Diego, decide now to side with Mexico. Suppose that Mexico was stronger than the US. Such a situation could happen in the US because you have many Mexicans Mexican born in Arizona, in California, in Texas. And they can do the same. Simply because this country has a strong government, a functioning government, they can do it. They can do it. Go ahead.
Doctor, I also had like I wanted you or somebody in the group to elaborate on the fact that I heard like a couple of days ago that they actually try to do the same thing that they did in Uganda and in Congo, in Tanzania, basically. And I don't know if anybody could elaborate on that, because I know that there is also a small population of Tutsis that live in Tanzania, in the region of Buha Kingdom, and that they actually try to do the same, but they just never achieved it, basically.
Yeah, they did it. I can confirm that they tried many times in Tanzania, but one of the last time they tried it, President Kikwete sent them back to Rwanda. I say he sent them back to Rwanda, and as Tanzania is a functioning government, no one, what you call international community, didn't say anything. He took them, Ali, back to Rwanda. They went back to Rwanda. And I have for those who can speak Swahili, I can send the video of one of the Tanzanian leaders who said that there was one of them who wanted to compete for president in Tanzania.
Yes. Can you? I would like to have the video of those because
Yeah.
I've heard that Banyarwanda tried to enter Tanzania, but Tanzania did, but like Tanzania didn't play with them. They sent them back.
Yes, they sent them back, and the one who wanted to run for president, he was just they couldn't accept his candidacy. So that's in Tanzania. They are aware of that. They know it. They know it very well. And you know that Museveni came to power with the help of Julius Nyerere. So he sent him there. He went there, and that's because he maybe became a danger for the Tanzanian Republic. So that's the situation. That's the reality. We need to be aware of what we have in our country. We need to be aware that if we don't resist, if we don't fight, they will split the country.
But the problem, Dr. Kibiswa, is even if when we try to speak with Congolese youth and try like to basically wake them up and tell them how like things are going, like just like this Zoom meeting, right, is really great content and great knowledge that you're sharing. But we've shared this link with like our friends, but they don't come, right? So like, what can we do to basically wake them up? They only love Loenge and Dombolo. Like,
wait, do you think that in Rwanda people do not like Loenge? Do you think that in Uganda or in Tanzania, not everybody is awake? It is always a minority that govern others. It is always a minority. I see that we are 11. It means you are about 10 in this meeting. And from the beginning until the end, I see that everyone is there. That small minority, if you can be disciplined, ordered, you can lead. Not everybody will be awake at the same time. Not everybody. So just don't discourage yourself. Don't wait, don't give up. We need to be going. You are called come and again and again and again, and this will come slowly, but it's a process. It's a process. Connect with others Take the leadership. Don't be, because there are people who, no, you join 2, 3. 2, 3. Who are leading the world? Who is leading the world? It's God. How many are they? It's only one. Am I wrong? So don't waste your time saying you need to have everybody. Let those who want Dombolo play their Dombolo, no problem. But you, if you want to make change, commit yourself to do that. With the small minority, and I refer you to Rwanda. Rwanda has been led for centuries, at least 5 centuries, by a small group of organized Tutsi until 1959. The majority took over power with the help of Belgians, but they lost it in 1994. They lost it only after 33 years. Now they are everywhere, all over the world. Do you hear many Hutu challenging Kagame? No. So they are also Ndombolo? I don't know. So it's a matter of maybe customs, maybe, but I think that Congo is just difficult for them. But they have led us. Joseph Kabila is one of them.
Oh, and Dr. Kibiswa, do you also have any sources, link, or anything on Kabila? Because I've been debating with fellow Congolese. One is from Katanga, and he basically said that Joseph Kabila is Congolese and from Katanga because Bamulupwe, from Katanga, Balupwe, ils l'ont comme, comment dire, ils l'ont comme affirmé, ils l'ont comme accepté comme Muluba, comme vrai Congolais. Donc, but I said that those Balupwe, basically, I think they are kings in the Balumba kingdom. They could have been paid by Joseph Kabila.
Okay.
So I'd like to have, yeah.
Let me ask you this. Why do he nominated more Tutsi than any other tribe in the Congo as generals or officers? The first group that have more general than others is the Tutsi. Why? Why not the Balubakat? Because he has some link to them. If he didn't have any link with them, he couldn't name them as much as he did. If we agree that most of us Congolese, we are tribalists, and we usually serve our tribe more than others, like just Tshisekedi served more Baluba than others. So we can say that he is from them. That's why he did it. We are today in difficulties because he named more. I've told you who are leading troops of the Congolese army in the east. Tutsi, most of them. Did you see one day his younger brother, who is governor in Tanganyika, he was visiting a military camp training center in Kalemi. Did you see him, Zoe Kabila? You didn't see it? He
Zoe
visited.
Kabila.
Yeah. So I want just to tell you that the one who is leading the training center of the military in Kalemi is Tutsi as well.
But like, okay, but I'd like to like I've been looking for those kind of information, you know, but I mean I can't find them. It's because I'm more of an English and French speakers, and I speak Swahili. I can understand Lingala, but I don't know how to look up for those kind of information.
Okay,
I can watch Basoro na Politique, but
we can keep everything as a start. You are starting there, so we'll just keep in touch. Joyce, you wanted to ask something?
Yes. Sorry. Although I did like ask the question on the government, but is there also like, I mean, could we also say that the Congolese government also has some fault in this because they have in many ways failed to address the issue? I feel that although, you know, clearly this is coming from a very ethnic and regional conflict perspective, um, could the Congolese government still, could they have done more um, to have addressed this issue and addressed, you know, how they would come about with the group and stuff? I know Congo has a lot of other conflicts, but could they still have done better?
I think my answer was clear. The government is taken hostage by them. Rwanda has a bearing on our government. May I be more clear?
Okay, yeah, okay, I understand now. Yeah, because I thought that
For
was
our government to do anything,
Mm.
they need to agree with Rwanda. Because Rwanda brought to power the Kabilas. And the Kabilas brought to power the Tshisekedis. Is that clear enough for you to understand?
Yeah, no, I definitely understand. I know that Congo has had a lot of historical relations with using Rwanda and Uganda as backups. So yeah, it does make sense.
So that's the situation. It is, and when I see that we have all this problem, I don't know, we need to be aware that we have to fight. How? I don't know. It's not maybe the place to discuss how, but at least be aware that we are taken hostage. Our government is taken hostage. And I see Nikki Wayambo. Nikki Wayambo.
No, I raised my hand by accident. Sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. And I see Newgate.
Kibiswa,
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask, could you please highlight on how the West has used the situation to their advantage?
What do you mean by the West?
So the US, France, and their role in arming Rwanda and Banyamulenge, or Banyarwanda to be more specific.
First of all, there is no African government which is not sponsored by the West or the East. Every African government is sponsored by the West or the East. Maybe you may find some exceptions. And today, one of the exceptions I can mention, maybe it's Burundi now. But even Burundi, it has connection with Russia or China. So there is no African government that has no connection with and sponsorship from external powers. But even if each government has that kind of sponsorship, their country are still running as a country. Kagame himself is sponsored by the US and UK. But Rwanda is a functioning government, right? So it's not the problem that the West take advantage of what is happening there. We need, and that's my option, we need to convince